It's Veterans Day, and I saw a video of Barack Obama greeting an honor flight, and so I guess this is a series now.
Hello, everybody.
What?
As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service to you, your family. The sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored. And we are very grateful, and we also happen to welcome you with the 70-degree day in D.C., which doesn't always happen around here. Sir?
That's the first time I've seen a president, former or current, greet an honor flight, and that is absolutely amazing. A commander-in-chief, a leader who's going to show up and tell you that your service was worth something. I think that's the important part, so I think it was a great thing that happened.
Last time I got to see a president, it was Gerald Ford.
How about that?
It was a joy in my heart today to see all these people. It's good. We still got people in our country, and that's good.
I had tears in my eyes. I just couldn't believe that there was that many people around that remembered us and was there to greet us, and it was just unbelievable.
Well, it means a lot because back then you got off the plane there and you had no welcome and people were almost booing you.
I'm real happy that now with current troops that come back from deployments, they get welcomed back really nice because that's what should happen. So it's being recreated in this flight and it makes you feel good.
I haven't flown for 50 years. And I was in the military from 72 to 76. Our country puts these things up, these memorials, honoring the men and women that served. You couldn't ask for something greater.
I don't know about y'all, but tears came to my eyes when I saw Mr. Obama at that flight thanking the veterans. Like, that was, no money could buy that. Integrity, appreciation, the way he conducts himself. He's just an amazing man. There's a reason why he was in office for 8 years straight. Michelle, you got you a good one.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for tuning in. All right, today's episode is a very emotional one because, man, whether you're a Repub or a Democrat, man, you gotta love this because this actually proves to you and reminds a lot of y'all, what a real president looks like. Barack Obama is making a lot of MAGA supporters to actually doubt themselves and regret their votes because they are finally coming to terms with what they're missing with the current administration. A lot of them are emotional and crying about it and admitting that they might have not actually supported Obama's policies, but they do respect the man, especially the way he talks, the way he handles himself, and the way he shows respect and honor to everybody, regardless of whether you like him or not. Let's get into the video. I'm your presenter, Joel Mugisha. If you're new, kindly consider subscribing. Hit the like button. Let's take a look. I'll be back with more commentary after this. Don't forget to leave me your comments down below in the comment section.
How about?
Yeah, he was the best of America. And to just think that last year he walked into that inauguration and he was booed and still held his head up high. Like, he was the best of America. And no matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican, that is a president past, but that very much cares about the people. He's not running for president again. He did it because that is what he wanted to do. Take notes. Take notes of the people that really care. Because no matter what side of the political fence you're on, we're all human. And humanity is very important. And that is what he displayed. And I feel like vets do not get appreciated enough. And to see this warms my heart.
I just started crying because I saw a video of former President Obama getting on an airplane full of veterans, getting on the little telephone walkie-talkie thing, getting his beautiful, deep, amazing baritone voice on that phone and saying, "I thank you for all of the service that you've done for this country. I appreciate each and every one of you. And then he stood outside of that airplane and he shook every single one of those former veterans' hands, and they were overjoyed to have him there. Someone so important to be there and recognize them. And I was overwhelmed with the emotions that I have inside my body that came pouring out of me by seeing a president do something that used to happen on a normal fucking Tuesday. And here we are, a former president, hasn't been in office for over a decade, is still doing something so grateful. And the other one, I guarantee you, is not. I haven't even looked, but I guarantee you that he's not. So just remind yourselves what we're fucking doing here. Because I see a clear difference. I see a clear difference in those two respects. Don't you?
Absolutely amazing.
Sometimes I feel like this country took this man for granted. Compared to what we have now, that man would never. That man did a whole speech and voiced it about himself and his administration and what he felt like was good for everybody. And this man is not even president anymore, and he still is doing the duties that some presidents have not done in years. Still honoring people, carrying yourself with dignity. Like, it makes me sad to think that that is the man that's representing us. It makes me sad. And it makes me miss him. Damn, I miss that man. I hate that man in office now.
On Veterans Day, we're supposed to honor the brave men and women who put their lives on the line for this country, but Donald Trump simply can't do that. He just had to make this speech all about himself and, of course, spread a few lies while he's at it. Take a look at this.
Veterans, we have a 92% approval rating. We took that up from 38% from a certain previous administration that we won't mention.
A 92% approval rating. That's a lie so big you can see it from space. It's unbelievable. Donald Trump's not using Veterans Day to honor the veterans. He's using it to honor himself. His ego is out of control, but the crazy part is he expects people to believe this nonsense instead of reality, polls, and actual data. We're currently 295 days into Donald Trump's second term, and he has a 39% approval rating. That's, of course, nowhere near 92% like he's trying to claim, but over half of all Americans blame him directly for making their lives worse. The contrast here is crazy. Today, Barack Obama surprised a flight of veterans as they were entering D.C., shaking all of their hands and saluting them. He looked them in the eye and honored their service with genuine gratitude and respect. That is leadership. You can feel the difference here. One man uses veterans as a backdrop for his own ego. The other one shows up to shake their hands and salute them. One of them makes everything about himself. The other one knows it's not about him, it's about them and the country they protected.
As a veteran who served this country, over the past 10 years, I have truly lost my faith in my service to this country, the way that the country is going now, the direction in which the country is going now, led by this regime. But when I see former President Barack Obama show up at D.C. Reagan Airport to surprise a group of veterans who are doing an honor flight, to thank them for their service and to shake each and every single one of their hands, thanking them for their service to this country, it restores my faith in my service to this country. Former President Barack Obama did not go on that plane and look at those veterans and say, oh, you voted for Trump, I'm not going to shake your hand. Our veterans are being impacted right now with this current administration and their draconian policies. Many of our disabled veterans right now depend on SNAP benefits in which they are not receiving. So if you voted for this regime and this administration, don't thank a veteran. Don't thank a veteran for Veterans Day because you voted against our benefits.
We've been in a clusterfuck of a nation and leader after leader who has either been incoherent, accused of having dementia, not been in his right mind for so long. I forget what a real human leader looks like.
As we approach Veterans Day, I wanted to stop by and just say thank you for your extraordinary service. To you, your family, the sacrifices that all of you made to protect our country is something that will always be honored.
It's Veterans Day, and we have two scenarios happening right now. We have President Barack Obama, which did the stately thing to do, which was greet veterans and surprise them on a flight. Then we have Donald Trump, who doesn't know the words to God Bless America. God bless America. Land that I tells the veterans that they should die without complaining.
Dear God, he said, we ask only this, that if we die, we must die, and we as men would die without complaining, without pleading.
And is just basically running this country into the ground. And I say this because since 2016, really, our nation has been one dumpster fire after another of not really having faith in a leader, not really believing in a leader, in his capacity to lead, in his coherency, whether he's mentally sound. And obviously Biden wasn't as bad as Trump, because Trump is ridiculous and is ushering in all the hate in the world. But under Biden, we still were like, do you know where you're at? Do you know what you're doing? And that was evident when he didn't let Kamala Harris run from jump and, did the whole presidential election. But seeing Obama greet these veterans and seeing how happy they were and seeing how he speaks to people, regardless of race, regardless of religion, regardless of class, and seeing how we have Dementia Donnie in office and seeing how he speaks about poor people, how he speaks about black people, how he speaks about anyone who isn't his billionaire friends or the ladies with their faces too shot up with filler at Mar-a-Lago. It just sucks. It sucks not to be inspired by a leader. Not to say politicians actually ever really give a fuck about us in the way that I want it to be, but there's still something to be said about believing in someone. This is why Zohran Mamdani won the New York election. There's a certain aspect of believing in him and ushering in change and believing that he'll fight for the people and believing that he understands what it means to be an average New Yorker.
Veterans across the United States are truly upset with the Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States of America. Yesterday, for those that don't know it, Donald Trump ended up inviting a former commander of Al-Qaeda not only to the United States, but also into the White House, into the Oval Office, shook his hand, greeted him like he was a friend, even though this former Al-Qaeda commander ended up slaughtering hundreds, if not thousands, of United States military personnel during that war in the Middle East. This all happened literally yesterday on Veterans Day. They said this right there was a truly slap across American veterans here in the United States of America, because even though American soldiers ended up dying for this country, they will never step foot inside the Oval Office, inside the White House. But a former commander of a known terrorist organization.
All right, folks, there you have it. Actually, when we talk about President Obama, he's one of the most unimaginable, exceptional president that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Especially this guy's flamboyant, discipline, speeches, boldness, charisma and swagger. You cannot match that. He's just something else. And I have a feeling that the Orange Man is actually jealous of him. He is. If you look at this guy, he's actually obsessed with undoing everything that President Barack Obama has actually ever done during his 8 years in office. Everything that Obama did, this guy has been on a run of undoing that. Now, we are talking about Veterans Day, a day of honoring people who have served for the country in the military. And what does the Orange Man do? He makes a speech all about himself and his approval rating. But who gives a continental about your rating? It's a day about people who have risked their lives for the country. It's their day. It's not your day. You had Trump Day. You had your birthday celebrated with all that military marching and all that stuff. But this is the day for people who risk their lives to actually serve the country. and most of them have never been celebrated like this before. Now the man goes on and makes a speech all about himself, and this is where he is actually different from Barack Obama. Barack Obama has not been in office for nearly 10 years, but still he is doing this, showing respect to the men and women who have served in the military. Look at how much it means for these guys. Look at how they were surprised and happy to see Barack Obama there. I believe that not all of them actually agreed with his policies. I believe that a lot of those veterans actually voted for the orange man, but look at what it means for them to see Obama there, giving them respect, giving them honor. A president who has not even been in office for nearly 10 years, right there with them in the aeroplane, giving them respect and honor. It means a lot for these guys, and it's making a lot of people emotional, especially MAGA supporters, because these guys are waking up to the fact that their lives are actually getting worse than they ever did, than they ever were during the Biden or Obama administration. And this is exactly what's pissing them off. You'll see so many videos that I could not manage to actually stitch in this episode because of time, of MAGA supporters admitting to being emotional and others admitting to actually respect Obama even if they did not agree with his policies. And that's actually the basic term of humanity. Obama cares, but the orange man doesn't care about you. He only cared about you giving, him your votes, and that was it. He's a billionaire. He's actually the guy for the rich. He's making life good and better for the ultra rich, but he doesn't care about the common citizen as Obama does. This guy is not even doing it for campaign. You might say it's hypocrisy because he wants to get voted for. This guy is not even going to run for office. He has already expired his 2-term limit. He's just doing it for humanity. He's not even obligated to do so because he's out of office. The current sitting president should be the one doing that, but yet he went ahead and did it just because he cares, and that's exactly what matters. Let me know in the comment section below what your opinion is of today's episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit a like button, really helps with the algorithm when you comment and like the video. As always, see you on the next episode.